welcome to session 0 of our next campaign here at PeakD&D. We are all excited to be making new characters today, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so it's everybody's favorite part. You've been waiting with bated breath for it. We're gonna roll some stats. Yes. So you all know what a super grid is. I'll explain it to the folks at home. Let's go ahead and get some dice clacking.
You want to? Okay.
Get 46 out, and you will roll. Yep, there you go, 46. You will roll those. You will take the 3 highest, and you will re-roll any ones.
Okay.
And how many times do we do this?
Why, Tony, you do that 6 times to create a row of 6 stats.
Oh, okay.
Then what you'll do is you'll do it another 6 times and another 6 times until you have a grid of 36 numbers.
Wow.
Once you have that grid of 36 numbers, you can take any row, column, or either of the 2 diagonals. Nice. And that, my friends, is a superhero grid. And it tends to result in characters that are more badass than your regular point buy or even average rolling systems. So this is a good one to use if you want your characters to be a little beefier. If, say, for example, you have only 3 players and you are making content online, you might want to use this.
But to be fair, I've played in plenty of games with you that weren't online with lots more players, and this is still your preferred method.
Well, it's fun, you see.
I
see.
I couldn't agree more.
No, I liked starting you guys off on a false sense of security when it comes to the arms race between how broken your characters are and the challenges I'm going to throw at those.
I mean, it really does help you at level 1.
There was my 4.
That's very true.
Perfect.
But I gotta re-roll it.
It absolutely helps.
It was too many
ones.
ones. It was a lot of ones.
I imagine. So
I'm
we'll
scrapping
go
this
ahead
grid.
and roll through that.
Yeah, baby.
What sort
Well,
of?
that one's pretty meh. Oh gosh. Okay.
Embrace the mediocrity.
I may. So the lowest you could roll is a 6.
Is a 6, yeah.
Like the
roll a 6?
lowest you could
rolled an
hypothetically
8.
get is a 6.
I rolled an 8. It was close.
8 is remarkable.
But you have to roll 4 2s to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm rolling. Okay, my second row is not great.
I think the lowest I've seen the grid produce
9.
is a 7.
7.
So somebody gets a 6 today. You are officially the unluckiest player I've ever played with.
Yeah,
You
4
win!
2s. Yeah.
And you get a golden dog biscuit.
Still
award.
waiting for that 18. Still waiting.
I mean, I've rolled plenty of these and not gotten an 18.
Yeah.
I mean,
Make some lemonade out of it.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean
There's
like
so many things you can do. There's feats, there's half feats. It's all fine.
I'm
with
going
like
for 7. I'm going
previous
for 7.
characters.
7.
That's a 7.
Definitely not my second row.
Oh, Jesus.
My second row is
There it
god
is.
awful.
Your second row is the moderating influence on the rest
Do you
of the
guys
rows.
fill in across the grid?
Man, I've been going, but I did across first, and then I started going up and down. And
I make
As long as
36
you end up with
boxes,
36 numbers,
and I just randomly put them.
Crazy.
Are you serious? Okay. It's like I've
Don't
about
just
it,
like
though.
bank all the good numbers and put them in the same row.
Oh
though.
yeah, no,
Don't
you
be a
can't do
jerk.
that. That makes sense.
The superhero grid is already generous. There is no need to cheat the superhero grid.
You're not wrong.
That's another 7.
I do like the penny slot aspect of it, where it's like, oh, you can win on 17 different lines.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, another 17.
That may be where I got the idea. Nice.
If I roll all 6s, is that just a 20?
You know, we've actually played it like that before, but only in 3.5 where 20 is less important.
Ah, yes. Fair enough.
So
Wait, that was
probably not
20
this
is the
time.
ceiling in this game.
Yeah, 20 is pretty much the ceiling.
Yeah, that's sort of it. It's sort of built around that being an important structure, I guess.
I've rolled a lot of 14s. 14s
14 is probably the number I see come up the most often in this.
kind of makes sense.
I mean, this could still be statistically significant here. What'd you get?
6. I might get the 6.
Oh boy.
Damn it!
7.
7.
Still. Let's say it's a feat to roll a 6 with this. I think it's easier to roll an 18 than
It's easier to roll a natural 20.
Statistically, it's not.
Ooh, 12.
It's the
Another
same, right?
16. That's a nice row.
Yeah, well, because you have to re-roll ones is the thing.
Yeah.
That like pulls the average
yeah,
number
I see.
up.
Yes, because I would have rolled a 6 because the other one was 1.
Yeah.
6, that's a 12.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There's my grid.
Folks have your grids?
I think so.
Yeah, I do.
It's just a matter of placing it.
All right. Do you know which row is yours?
Yes.
Pretty close. I mean, I know which one I should take, but I'm trying to be a little more fun.
Oh no, that's not my question. You just let me know when you've made a decision, my friend.
I have made a decision on my row.
All right. So you guys can start. If you know where you're going to put them, then go ahead and start.
What's 14? A plus 2?
14 is a plus 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
13 is a plus
1.
It changes on, yeah.
Yeah. It changes on the even.
10, 11,
14.
12, 13, 14, 15. Okay.
That'd be
That one
Remember, there are lots of things that can modify this. Your race will affect that. You some of you might get feats, and you'll be able to do things with that.
What do bards get?
There's still plenty of entertaining stuff to do.
Yes, there is.
I
Choices
got my
to make.
row.
Alrighty.
So if you get a bard,
So when we're settled on a row, we'll go ahead and just sound off each of those when for the camera, just to get them for posterity.
that's fair.
Once we slot them in, or do you want to?
When we slot
just
them
the
in, maybe we
numbers.
could throw it up on there, but I'd like us to just state them aloud for the folks at
What
home.
it ends
as kind
up
of
being.
For it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
What it's worth.
I like it.
I guess as a class, you don't get. Classes don't give you any. It's just, races.
races do.
Did I just look at that? I think I might have a 20 in charisma.
It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible to have a 20 in your main stat when you start the game.
Which is a good thing, especially at level 1. Helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers matter more at low levels than they do at high levels, so... Well, maybe that's not true anymore, with the lower ranges overall.
I mean, I think it does. Just for
Yeah.
survivability.
I mean, I think you'll feel a 20 in a stat more at level 1 than you'll feel it at level 2.
Charisma score increases by... Okay.
Okay.
And then I think mine.
Cool.
Background.
I don't think any background changes the stats.
Wait a second. Yeah, I couldn't remember what I was looking at. So I'll have it next time. Okay, so that means I'm going to pick...
Well, obviously, there's that one. So that's
Yeah, I'll pick the most superhero.
It's okay.
Don't sound so disappointed about it.
oh. Were we saying our stats?
I wasn't...
numbers?
I hadn't
Yeah,
picked
now
yet,
that
but
you've
now I have
selected,
selected.
we'll... all right.
I have
okay.
selected.
So picking this up.
Yeah. Sorry.
Presumably. All right, so now that we all have our stats, we're going to go and sound them off. You don't have to tell me where you're putting them, but give us the 6 numbers you've chosen for your character. And we'll start with Ben, and we'll work our way around the table toward Max.
I rolled a 14, a 17, a 17, a 10, which I'm dropping to a 6.
That's allowed.
Yes. And an 18 and a 14.
Yeah, you're dropping that 10 down to a 6. That sounds fair.
That's the lowest I'm just dropping to a 6.
All right, sounds great. Tony, what you got?
Sorry, last minute switch. I am rolling... I rolled an
That's
18,
insane.
a 10, a 12, a 13, a 15, and a 15.
Nice. So you have a standout, but you're not like, the juggernaut over there.
Yeah.
Hey,
I wanted to balance myself a little bit, so
All right, that's okay.
I chose a different one.
We'll figure out what role you have in the party, and I'll make that role more difficult. Max, what you got for us?
Precisely.
2 17s, 2 15s, an 11, and a 14.
Not bad at all.
And for the record, I would have chose my highest regardless. So that's just where I'm at.
You
Yeah,
power
fair.
gamer, you. That's
I
fine.
understand.
I mean, you can shame me all you want.
No shame. I'm just shaming
I
myself.
only have a
for taking it.
I
minus
live in a
2.
glass house.
That's a me problem.
I have a minus 2 to charisma.
Alrighty, nice.
So you're the
So it
talker?
sounds like you guys already have some ideas about where to put those numbers. Let's go ahead and flesh that part of the sheet out, and let's start turning these numbers into people.
Into people? Hey, look, he thinks he's people.
It looks like he thinks he's people.
All right. And everybody pretty much knows what kind of character you want to make at this point, right?
Yeah, we've talked a little bit off camera as a group, and for those of you watching this, session 0.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll use this part, but whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, so I think we've sort of talked a little bit about these characters. We actually play tested these characters a little bit in various forms.
Yeah.
In our early like season. So
like preseason, like
Yeah, like
when
testing,
PeakD&D was a gleam in our eyes. We did some controlled play testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys want to stick.
And
with
then
those.
Luke sent us into the face, so we scrapped those characters and made
Yeah,
some
right.
new ones.
Because life comes at you fast, and you got to stay flexible, folks.
we warmed up with
DM
with
tip
some-
number 274. Life
Leech
comes at you
subscribers
fast.
off of
Be
people with
flexible.
more established channels.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get those nuts and bolts in. And as soon as we've gotten those sheets filled out, we'll go around the table and tell everybody what we've made.
Sorry, it's been a hot second.
It's quite all right.
Elf. I get elf and dark elf things,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I get the next.
Except where they contradict one another, but it will tell you when they
But like
contradict.
the ability score increase, I get both.
Yes, you get your race and your sub
And the subrate. Okay. Just making sure I'm not cheap.
Unless it says replace with.
Gotcha.
It will tell you.
Cool.
It's good times being a DM at this part of the character creation, because I get to sit around eating bonbons and sipping my water while you guys put all the numbers in boxes.
Yep.
Max hit points at first level.
Max hit points at first level.
Heck yeah.
Woo! 8.
Good to be a cat
10.
or a bard.
Starting equipment.
With a decent hey, don't sleep on Constitution, kids.
Never sleep on Constitution.
No, it's true. I almost changed my stats to like have
Less.
more to like have a less of a dex and a better constitution.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
No, but way to stick with the concept, though. I mean,
Yeah, thanks.
Catness. I appreciate the cat.
Yes, the cattiness, of course. Appreciate
Are
it
you
now.
blind when you're born? Can you see in the dark?
Everything is jellicle. I don't know what that word means, and
That's okay. There's no sense or context that helps with cats.
I have to pick 3 skills.
So,
we should
Chat about that?
yeah, we can talk about
like
that.
to if we could.
yeah, we could do skill chat.
Skill chat.
At some point.
Yeah, not your automatic proficiencies, but maybe we'll bring that up in the nuts and bolts section.
Well, let me know when you're ready. I'll.
Yeah, when we're like going down, maybe skill
I'm gonna get-
proficiencies can be the last thing.
I'm gonna
we
pick my
decide.
starting weapons and stuff.
Yeah, like choosing. Yeah, because every class you get your choice of proficiencies, and so I think it's wise with a small group,
Yeah.
especially.
Let's do everything except the optional, like where you have to pick between different proficiencies, and we'll sort of talk about that collaboratively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works
Yeah.
for me.
Skills. I have disadvantage on stealth checks. I'm wearing chainmail.
I have disadvantage in the daylight.
Stealth checks?
Oh, no, stealth
Or
check.
just all the
No.
time?
Just
on attacks.
just percept. Just
Oh, perception checks.
looking and attacking.
just looking at stuff and attacking.
But it might as well be a friggin'
I've
everything.
got
It does come up quite a bit.
I've got investigation and survival
Excellent.
on lock.
Well, that's good.
Those are my best 2.
Great.
Oh, and investigate and perception. I'm decent.
I think we all have perception.
Yeah, that's a big
I took intimidation
cat person.
just so I'd have the +2 to counteract my -2.
I like that.
And then I'm just fighter athletic, big old
Athletic build.
chunky chunks.
What race are you?
I'm a variant human,
A hoot man.
so I took tavern brawler,
Oh, cool.
and I took unarmed fighting as my fighting style.
Excellent. This is a perfect example of what we will all do
Later,
when we have finished making the characters.
Oh, okay. We'll rehash this.
Yeah, we'll go through this and say, hey, here are the nuts and bolts of my character, and then that would also be a good time to discuss filling in blanks on proficiencies.
right?
Then we'll learn a little bit about the world, and then we'll start getting into like character backstory and where I might want to slip things in or follow up with you after the cameras stop.
That's what my dice were doing.
Nice. Yeah, I got.
Hey,
I'm doing all
Hey,
right.
you're welcome. Is a hand
okay with
crossbow a simple weapon?
That's an excellent question.
I don't think
That's
it
a
is.
player's handbook kind of question.
It is.
But I think you're proficient with it with
I'm proficient, but I don't get to start with it. Is that basically how
that
that
could be
works, right?
Unless you do gold starting and you buy your equipment.
Oh.
Yeah. If you do gold, you could just
Single.
budget your equipment.
Simple. No.
yeah.
Right?
I think it would be a martial ranged weapon.
I think it's martial ranged.
It is.
Yeah.
Hand crossbow. I like that. I like that for my gag.
But bards get simple weapons, long swords, and rapiers.
Or rapier. It's one of. It's one.
Oh, you
of.
choose one. Oh, okay.
Does being an elf still give you proficiency with weapons? Or?
Yeah, I have other proficiencies, and being a drow gives me some other stuff too.
Right.
Rapier, short swords, enhanced crossbows, but a bard already gets all that, so nothing happens.
Yeah, right. In addition to whatever else you're playing, you can also do some bard
In
shit.
addition, but also.
Ooh. I mean, I guess we had this last campaign, but it is nice to have an elf. Or I guess you were half elf, but I'm an elf. So as far as sleeping and stuff like that is concerned,
Yeah, you're a full-on elf.
I can actually like
You get all the regular elf stuff.
I can
and
help
then you
with
get the
watches
drow
and
stuff, I
too.
guess.
Precisely.
Yeah, you get the trance thing. You only have to sleep 4 hours.
Trance.
Trance.
Oh man. Trance. All right.
He just plays like EDM and just like dances around.
That would be house. That's not trance.
Sorry, you're right.
We like kill some wolves on our first adventure. You see me with like the wolf head on, just like trancing out.
Yeah, are you like a teenager?
No,
You're like
I'm
an
older.
adult.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 32, but in elf years, whatever that equates to, like 200-ish.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I'm my age. I think I made it me, to be honest. Didn't mean to, but I think I did to
It's
some
not a
extent.
bad way to go.
Hey, it's got to come from somewhere.
To some extent.
Do I get to add my proficiency bonus to my claws or not? Because I'm not a monk. And that
Are
might
you
be a-
proficient with your natural weapons?
I would imagine you would be proficient.
I
with
have
natural
to
weapons.
imagine you would be.
I mean, they are attached to my hand.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that like people like.
Why won't it come out today?
fighters- Yeah, exactly. D&D Claude. I don't like to talk about it.
Commentary.
Yeah, well, because like fighters, like like if you don't normally get to add it to your.
I mean, that's very
fists.
true,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
but like they have it.
It's a good.
Google.
Google and
will
or
answer
I would
this
say
for us.
DM ruling for
Yeah,
for
I
you.
mean,
Yeah, let me
I
do
would-
a Google and I'll start
Do a
cooking
Google.
up a ruling for
All right,
you.
man.
DM tip number 317. Do a Google.
Juggle it.
Yeah. What's that from?
Lugal.
It's big C.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
I thought about rocking some sort of Connie. I just don't know if I could keep it up. Yeah, right?
That would be great. That would be great.
So it looks like you use the same mechanics for unarmed attacks as everybody else, but you deal a D4 damage by default.
Yeah, plus strength.
Yeah,
bonus.
plus strength.
Gotcha.
I mean, I was in melee for 68 episodes, so I might go the other way this time.
That's
Is that-
fair.
I guess you'll be the melee guy.
Oh, I'm the fighter. I'm the up close
Yeah,
guy.
well, you're also like, you grab that feat for punching people and.
Yeah, no, I just punch and hold on to people. That's sort of what I do.
Oh, cool.
I have I'm gonna have a big axe on my back.
But
and
you don't.
that-
But it's just for show.
No, I use it on occasion, but I have to be really upset about it.
How does loading work?
Because you want to roll a d12.
Yeah, I mean the D12 will come in handy, but like with the unarmed fighting style and the tavern brawler feat, I can use anything as an improvised weapon and do damage with it.
Well, I just meant, is that why you chose X? Because you wanted to roll d12s?
No, I chose it actually because of our pre-session filming when we fought the Minotaur,
Yeah, the minutes
and
are.
I decided that happened.
Oh.
That happened
right.
in some version of Kane's life, and
Just
so
a
that's
big heck off
he
axe.
just that's what he showed up with. Like we'll get into it in the backstory part, but like
Alrighty, so we've put some numbers in boxes. Let's start lifting it off the page here. Let's go around. We're going to start with Ben again. No, you know what? We're going to change it up. We're going to start on this side with Max.
All right.
All right, Max, I would like you to give me your character's name, race, class, background choice, alignment, and proficient skills. If you don't have those finalized yet, you can just let that know, and we'll have a
Yeah, so
discussion about it.
we'll table proficient skills till the end. I've got some, but there's a couple choices I can make.
Okay,
as
so
we have
we'll
this
table
order.
proficient skills to the end up. Let's start with known proficiencies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Because evidently I love mononyms. My name is Triss. Tabaxi. wild magic sorcerer because Nick is awesome. We're actually going to be doing like a variant bit on the Dungeon Coach's rules for that.
Link in the place links go.
Yes, certainly for like the wild surges, and he made a really sweet table, so we're gonna give him some love there, and thank you because that's gonna be a lot of fun. As much as fun as I do think it would be awesome to be a lawful neutral wild mage who was just frustrated with the whole world, I instead chaotic neutral is what I went with this
Steal
time.
that character idea, by the way, if you're watching.
Yeah, no, please, and let us know. Let me know how
Yeah,
it goes.
come to the table with a prissy accountant who happens to be a wild magic
Or even just
sorcerer.
someone, who's like so studied in magic, but like doesn't understand, but like things get, like almost like obsessive compulsive and like a control disorder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Freak.
Yeah, totally.
We're not doing that this time, but you should.
Yeah, no, free. It's free. It's yours. Take it. And then charlatan background. So I have a false identity, and I'm a bit on the run, and we'll get into all that fun stuff here in a little bit. But yeah, and I've got proficiency as of now in deception, perception, good on those septions, sleight of hand, and stealth.
And Inception.
All of deception.
Nice.
Planting idea.
All right, so we got ourselves a sneaky cat person sorcerer with chaos magic at their beck and call. Tony, what you got for us? That list again was character name, race, class, background choice, alignment, and known skill proficiencies.
Okay. My name is Minnow Morlin.
Is that a first name, or is that all one name, or is that?
It's like Madonna, man.
Okay, mononym too. I'm with it.
There you go.
Drop the
Drop
family
my
name
last
because
name.
my family disowned me.
Oh, okay.
Minnow Morlin. I'm a elf, a dark elf, so drow from the Underdark. I'm a bard, level 1. I took entertainer background because bard, entertainer, that's what he does or wants to do. And chaotic neutral is my alignment. That also makes sense for me, I do believe. Saving throws, I have dexterity and charisma. And then proficiencies, I get to choose 3, but for now I have acrobatics, perception, and performance.
All solid picks for a bard.
Indeed.
All right, then. Do you need the list again, or you think you got it?
I think I got it all. You let me know if I skip it.
All right, fair enough.
I am Kane Greyspire. I just go by Kane.
Yeah, right.
We haven't even met
The
yet,
only
but
one
he's
with a
already
last
peer
name.
pressured.
Yeah, it's short for a different name, but it's just Kane.
Kane?
Kane.
Like with a
no,
C,
Kane is
right?
short for,
Kane word?
Kane is short for Grey Cane. Grey Cane Greyspire is just sort of stupid. Like,
I mean, I'd
It's
go
a-
by Kane, too.
it's a family name, and we don't really talk about it.
Lots of family stuff happening already. Okay.
Yeah,
C,
all we
right?
got
Spelled with a
playing with
C.
some ideas. I already love
Yeah, yeah. I am a human fighter. Chaotic neutral alignment.
Excellent.
Just kidding. Chaotic good.
Oh,
it. Okay.
Okay.
the moral
For now.
compass.
For now.
Kind of.
And I am proficient in athletics and investigation. I took the haunted one background for that proficiency.
In Ben Richter's Guide to Ravenloft now.
And let's see here. What else do I need to say? I have a big old battle axe, and that's about it.
Sounds good.
Did I cover everything?
I think, yep, you got the list. You're good, man.
Nice.
Alrighty, so that is on paper our characters. I'll tell you a little bit about the game we're going to take part in and the place that is going to happen in. So this game is going to take place in the Forgotten Realms, the default D&D campaign setting for now. We are going to begin play in the town of Bryn Shander. That is the capital city of the 10 towns of Icewind Dale. This is a far, far out of the way place in the realms. It is past a hazardous and very uncomfortable mountain pass. It is frigid all year round. And a lot of people come here when they decide they don't want to be a part of the world anymore. When they decide, or when they need to disappear from certain aspects of that world. So, as we continue forward, one of the things I'm going to ask you is going to be thinking about why your character has made it to the 10 towns and what they are hoping to find there or hoping to get away from elsewhere. So, mull that over for a minute, and we will start getting in a little bit more details with your character. So, we do have some unselected proficiencies still at this point. Let's open that up to conversation here and see if we can't get in where we fit in, as the saying goes.
Gotcha.
So who has proficiencies left to pick? Is it just Tony and Max?
I have 2 that I can pick.
I can do a little bit of swapping around, but I feel like I've got a pretty good spread for.
Okay, and it becomes advantageous for somebody else to
Yeah, no.
do. You know.
I have the most freedom.
Yeah, you're a bard, so and I think some of those get to. You could also take a tool proficiency, I believe. And not
I think
just
you
a
might
skill.
be right, actually. Keep it fair.
Yeah, you might be able to. Do 3 tools or some combination.
Oh, interesting.
Bards have a lot
I
of.
do
versatility.
remember reading like two skill points equal 1 tools or something like that. Maybe I can't remember.
Nobody has Arcana. It sounds like, correct?
That's
Correct.
something that you, the sorcerer, might.
Either
wanna-
of us could kind of fit in that, but I think that would be
how's
a
your
good fit for
how's
you.
your intelligence?
Not great.
Cool.
No, it's not. I mean, +1.
Yeah, all right. I mean, mine's only at a +2.
So
I don't have proficiency in it, but I've got a fair intelligence.
Are you smarter than probably?
Pretty smart.
somehow.
I have what do I have? I'm very smart. I'm just not very good at expressing myself.
You're just raised
my
in a
intelligence
culture of
is 17.
toxic masculinity.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
But it might come into play later on when I have to choose a subclass
Oh.
as a fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm
So,
intrigued.
high intelligence was sort of important. Low charisma, though. Just god awful.
Sure.
You were just raised in this, very toxic masculine environment, and now you can't talk about your feelings, and it just comes off as weird. And
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
off-putting.
go with nobody has insight. I mean, religion doesn't really sound like it's gonna be my jam.
Yeah, I mean, history or insight.
I have
history
an
would be a
argument
good
for
one.
religion. I would say I would have an argument.
Okay.
For
Well, I mean, you've
religion.
been raised in, the Church of Lolth, so that's
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I went with Arcana and Insight, and I think
I might go religion, history.
Are you sneaky sneaks? Or can you be a sneaky bard?
Persuasion.
Like,
I mean, my
do you
dex
have-
is great, but I don't have stealth.
Do you have,
I think I'm-
Can you take stealth or sleight of hand?
I have both of those.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, it
right.
might be more advantageous for somebody to have proficiency in thieves' tools.
Fair enough.
Also true.
I'll just float it.
No, that's a good idea. That was not an option that I was given. I don't think.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm just
In any
putting
of
it
my
out there,
spots.
food for thought.
And we also persuasion would not be
Bad.
amiss either.
No, that is true enough.
I mean, I'm good at lying, but I'm not so good at telling the truth and
What
making people.
is-
Yeah,
do stuff.
persuasion is pretty useful for somebody to have.
Where do you find that? Is that in features?
Persuasion. It's 5th from the bottom.
No, like for tool
Like
sets
bard
and stuff,
skill
yeah.
proficiencies. It would be under the class in the player's handbook.
I thought so, but it's really not.
Really?
As far as just says skills, choose any 3.
Okay. So maybe it does
Oh,
have to
I'm
be
sorry. Tools. 3 musical instruments of my choice. 3?
You get to pick 3 musical instruments that you'll barely use based on your character concept.
Yeah, so can I switch that out for 1 and/or 2 tool proficiencies?
Well, let's see here. Let me
I
just...
think there's a rule somewhere that
Here we go, we're
describes
homebrewing.
this.
No, we're not homebrewing. We're custom lineaging. Thank you, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Right.
So that is a
Proficiencies.
a thing that I am...
Race,
Rolling
class,
over.
background.
So since you have, race, class, and background, each of which can give you proficiencies, since you are not planning on using, to a great extent, your musical instruments.
And I get one with entertainer.
Yes, and you get one with entertainer anyway,
And as a bard.
and as a bard. So,
I have 5 musical instruments.
so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna trade in 3 of those musical instruments for one
tool?
miscellaneous
I like
tool
that.
proficiency.
I like that. I'll take thieves tools.
That's reasonable. All right,
And a disguise kit, which is also neat.
handy.
My God.
There you go. So thieves tools, disguise kit, and entirely separate from your skill proficiencies, which it turns out you still just get 3 of.
Cool. I'm gonna take religion. and persuasion. I think it sounded nice.
Religion, persuasion. All right.
Pretty sure I get skills and a feat. Yeah, I don't get any tool sets with my background or anything.
So let's look up the mechanics for using thieves' tools finally.
I think it's just dex.
Plus proficiency bonus if you're proficient with the tool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing with
That's right. That's what we were doing.
It's basically like adding a skill.
It's just
line.
it's the turn undead. It's the thing I always forget how it works until I need to know how it works.
Right. Yeah. None of my background, my
How do we feel
class,
about
my
how do we feel about
race
history?
gives
Great,
me
no,
no
do it.
I don't know.
If that's what you want.
I
Like, I
don't,
feel
want,
like,
I don't want to, but how do we
Which
feel
I
as a
totally
group? I
will.
need it. I
That
feel like
works.
not necessarily.
oh, no, we can make
I don't even know how to
like.
I don't need brew
I'm gonna take
supplies. What?
Stealth makes sense for me too.
Yeah.
So
Might be
stealth,
handy when,
stealth
you know.
religion, and persuasion.
Okay. Yeah, you can do a little bit of everything with that.
Well, then as a bard, depending what you actually do, like you're gonna be good at lots of things.
I mean, jack of all trades. When that comes, it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be delightful. That's
I get half my proficiency bonus to everything. I think.
Yeah.
yeah. I can figure it out.
That
What's a land
includes
vehicle?
initiative. That includes
Yeah, it's
like
nuts.
It's not saving throws, but it includes skills. It just everything goes up.
Oh, I didn't realize that was
Bonkers.
initiative too. Wow.
Yeah. That's a dex check, son.
All right. So sounds like we've got a pretty solid consensus on filling in a gap. Sounds like
Yeah.
you've got good skill coverage. I think the campaign is survivable with these choices you've made.
Does anybody have medicine?
I thought about that, but no.
Okay.
It just means we don't get the +2. We can still do it.
Yeah.
Nobody die.
Yeah,
We
all
can
you
still
have to do is
we can still
nobody
phase
die.
spider our way to the
The
shadow.
face spider
I've got-
is never going to work again.
I've got survival. I could swap like.
I think survival's more important.
I do too.
Okay.
Survival's good. Somebody should be
just
able to
gotta-
figure out how to.
Another party that needs health potions. That's all.
And
You
we'll-
can learn a couple of healing spells as a
can.
bard, I think.
Yeah, you
I need
you'll
to
have
choose
a couple.
those soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that all
And I'll fill in.
over the course of the
Nice.
week. And, yeah.
Oh yeah. We don't need to know that now. Here, that's nice.
I would like to take some time with all that stuff.
Yeah. So we've covered a decent amount of ground with the characters here. Let's talk a little bit about the setting. So, this adventure is going to take place in the Forgotten Realms, the default D&D campaign setting. At least it's going to start there. And we are going to begin play specifically in the city of Bryn Shander. It is in Icewind Dale. The 10 towns of Icewind Dale are nestled in the spine of the World Mountains, far to the north of the Sword Coast, and where most of the cool stuff that you know from other D&D media comes from. Icewind Dale is a place that is remote. A lot of people go there when they have had enough of the affairs of the world and kind of want to pull back out of them, or when the affairs of the world are hazardous to their health and they're looking for a place to lay low. Specifically, we are going to begin in Bryn Shander on Shieldmeet. Shieldmeet is essentially a midsummer leap day. Happens once every 4 years.
A day out of time.
Yeah, and usually, and since the one of the biggest festivals of the year, the Midsummer Festival, takes place on the day that Shieldmeet comes right after, it kind of becomes like an extra vacation day for everybody. So, like,
Sweet.
yeah, a lot of principalities, including Bryn Shander, will have an extended festival of the Midsummer on Shieldmeet years, and they'll like do it, make a 3-day weekend out of it.
Yeah.
So you are on bonus day Shieldmeet in the year 1492 Dale Reckoning, or the year of 3 ships sailing. So there's some nuts and bolts and some details that you may or may not give any kind of crap about. But suffice it to say, you are going to start in the frozen north of the world, and we're going to have some conversations now about why that might be the case.
Nice.
So, just as soon as I pull up my real notes. Confidently run out of things to say. There we go. Alrighty. So what I would like to hear now, we have put numbers in boxes and we've rolled many a die this evening. Now we're gonna talk about words and histories and feelings and shit. So, I know.
Bring it on.
My insistence on this sort of thing. It's my toxic trait. So,
Get in touch with that emo side.
Let's, since we haven't started with Tony yet, we'll start with Tony, go to Max, and then finish with Ben.
Okay.
I would like you to tell me your character's backstory. And as such as you have imagined it up to this point, we're not locking ourselves into anything permanently here. So,
Fair enough.
And if you don't know why X, Y, or Z happened or who Zed's name is, then that's fine too. But I'd like to get a sense of who your character is
Yep.
and what their personality is.
Well, Minnow Moreland, he's a drow, so he grew up in the Underdark, obviously. His family was very into Lolth, the Spider Queen, because as most are in the Underdark. He wasn't so much. He's kind of like that, I don't know, that Catholic kid that went to church because they told him to, but now is rebelling away from it.
Yeah, you're kind of an Easter and Christmas Lolther, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
High holidays. That's
Mom, do
fine.
we have to go to Sunday?
Do I have to sacrifice the slave?
So 8 legs is too many. But so father, mother, but I have a younger sister, and she took to Lolth, and she's now a high priestess of Lolth. So that's nice. She's the jewel child of the family. Did exactly what mommy and daddy wanted her to.
Favorite.
So yeah, I just kind of I was trying to do my best to still be in the family and still try to do something that makes mom and dad proud. But I eventually finally got to that last straw of like, all right, I can't do this anymore, and I needed to go find adventure because there's a whole top side to the world than the Underdark, and I feel like there's more to drow kind than the Underdark. So I am literally out to find adventure and have experiences and meet new people and see where that takes me.
Well, it so happens that there are some very, very well-developed fictional precedent for a drow wandering out of the Underdark and ending up in Icewind Dale.
Absolutely.
So I think that's totally going to be cool.
That's the nuts and bolts of my backstory.
Very fun, Tony. Max, what have you got for us?
Yeah, so fun thing about and Athkatla, they're down with slavery. So, super cool.
They forgot to not do slavery.
They forgot to not do slavery.
You had one job, one job.
But no, so my backstory is I grew up in a gilded prison. In this life of luxury, I was poached from my family when I was but a kitten. I think that's what tabaxi youth are called, I
Works for me.
assume, maybe. A kit. Yeah.
It is now.
And so I was pretty much bought to be like this rich girl's best friend. And so that's how I grew up until wild magic. And then I have been on the run with a false identity thanks to my charlatan background as Triss, the Alluring, the Magnificent, I don't know, some good stage magician name that I haven't come up with yet. So I have been in Bryn Shander as this street magician, this magician performing under my false name.
Okay, I dig that. Yeah, so
Another
you've got kind of a hustle going on. You've essentially run away and founded your own circus.
A one-person circus, yes.
No, I like that. It's really fun. I like the bird in the gilded cage.
Triss is
Only
not
it happens to be
your
a cat.
real name. Cool.
Triss is her working name, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Stage name.
I might not, I mean, I was probably never know
No,
the name I was given from birth.
Stage name, that's totally cool. That's all I need to say.
Thanks.
It's fine.
All right, very good, Max. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Ben, what have you got for us?
Kane is a bit of an enigmatic figure. He doesn't know too much about himself as well, but his family owns they were very wealthy. They owned a tower called Greyspire. That's the family name.
Gotcha.
And
The old cabin in the north kind of thing.
Yeah. And his brother got into some trouble, and long story short, he was in debt to some mercenaries, and the only way to pay the debt was to serve in this mercenary company. And I ended up filling the sentence. So I was bumming around with this group called the Burnt Banners for a long time, for a little while. And then it's sort of a blank. There was a fire. A lot of those guys died, and I woke up in a snowfield.
All right.
And I found my way into a town in the nearby area.
I have some ideas about that. We'll put a pin in it.
Yes.
We'll put a pin in it. So these are
The town.
these are all very, I think, these are all good foundations upon which we can build ourselves some interesting characters. Now, I'm going to have some follow-up questions for you. And if you don't have an answer for it right now, that's perfectly okay. But these are some things I would like us to think about and some things I would like us to sort of come to some decisions on as we start into this story here.
Nice.
So we'll do it question by question. This doesn't have to be a long reply. Try to keep it succinct for the folks at home. And we will just go around the room here. Let's just start with Max and head toward Ben. So, my first question is, and this might touch on some of your backstories already, but why has your character, in a sentence, come to 10 towns?
I mean, you said it in the intro. It's a great place to lay low, and the world doesn't look for a lot of people in the 10 towns.
Interesting. All right. So you were aware that the 10 towns existed and would be a nice place to run away to.
Sure.
Yeah, just following that up with an inference that follows. Tony?
Well, it certainly seemed that 10 towns was better than one town. To get to know some people.
Yeah, I just kept going up towards the light that hurt my face, and then now here I am.
And now here I am, exactly. But I also thought that this is where people of, I heard that it was for people that are unsorted or trying to get away from the town. So as a drow, just going into a regular village, I feel like is probably a little unwary for most people. So I thought maybe I'd get down with find some friends that are a little more eager to meet a drow in the 10
That's interesting.
towns.
Yeah, a lot of people do leave the world to go to 10 towns. So people are in the habit of not asking all that many prying questions when a new face rolls in.
I certainly hope not.
Reasonable. Ben?
You just said it. I needed some food. I woke up in the middle of nowhere, found my way to a civilization. There was a little path that I found, and people stopped asking questions after a minute, and that was just fine with me. So I've just been bumming around here, and people seem to not take notice.
Fair enough.
Like one strand of hair still on fire.
I mean, I've got my yellow mercenary tunic that our company wore, but
Yellow. That's gonna stick out so bad.
it was a little singed.
I was about to say it's probably more of an ochre.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
definitely like a different color. And they stopped asking questions once I showed them the big axe.
Fair enough. So there's some things that, again, I have some thoughts about where you ended up and what you've been doing in the interim, but we'll talk
I'm all about that. I'm excited.
Alrighty, so let's keep going with more questions. As close to a one-sentence summary as you can, what does your character want?
A fucking hot bath, a ripe piece of fruit, and summertime.
Excellent. All right. That's going to tell us a lot about how your character's feeling on day one of this story.
What is it? Really, I won't. I just want to get out and experience something new and get all the experiences I can so then I can regale more groups of people throughout the Forgotten Realms of my triumphs and exploits and all of that stuff.
See more of life, maybe build a little bit of glory for yourself.
Perhaps.
Fair enough. King?
I want a sandwich. Just want an ale. And for people to stop talking to me. This is a great place for that. And I need some answers. Because I don't really know where I've been, where I was, what happened to the company. It wasn't a good experience. I was brought in and I was forced to do it.
Right.
So
We're not talking about some nice mercenaries.
No, not the nice mercenaries. I tried to get in, but they didn't. But this place has been good because it's sort of out of their view for now. I'm trying to stay. If they find out that I'm alive it's right back into the ranks.
And we don't want that. Very good.
Assuming that they think I died in that fire.
All right. Now, this is a similar question, but it's not the same question. I'm interested to hear what you'll say after giving that answer. What does your character need?
A nice hot bath.
A right piece of fucking fruit. Need enough power to be safe from her past.
Interesting.
Very good. I'll let that answer go without further comment. Tony, what you got?
Well, I've thought about two things that I need, and one's a little out there and one's a little right now. The right now is I believe I need some friends. Some loyal friends, because being a drow, I would like someone who vouch for me. So hopefully I have found some friends that I can see as loyal and that will vouch for me in different towns that we may or may not adventure to. As far as a more prophetic need, I really need to prove myself not only to my parents and my family, but also to all of drow kind, that creatives can be any skin color, anywhere, from any town, and I don't have to be loath follower. I can do what I want. So I need to prove that my adventures encapsulate that.
Once again, I will let that go without further comment. Ben, what does Kane need?
Kane needs
A sandwich. Sorry.
no. He just keeps saying that. Bath, very bad.
I opened the can.
I just sort of smell like cinders and it's just not.
Smell like cinders and violence.
Yeah. Kane needs to remember his past. Kane needs to find out what happened to his family, what happened to the mercenaries, what happened to him. And right now he doesn't know that. He's okay with it, but it's eating away at the back of his mind.
I should probably
he's like
some answers.
Right now he's taking in information, but I'm just trying to lay low for now until I figure out what to do.
Fell out of the. I'm here. I'm in a snowfield. I'm not currently on fire.
I don't think I'm dead.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty. So here's a question to think about. Where did your character learn their abilities, if they learned them? How did they first manifest, if you imagine them as being something intrinsic? Mm-hmm. And what was that like?
Wild magic.
That was learned.
Caused me to have to leave my gilded cage, which mixed feelings about. I mean, luxury is nice, but
The meal ticket was nice, but
but being a prisoner is not.
I have a roof, 3 meals a day.
I don't know what that's from.
It's a funny thing happened on the way to the fort.
Oh, yeah. And then I'm sorry, what was the third part?
And how do they feel about that?
I would I would tell most people that I would rather be free and on my own, but I think at night when I'm curling up to go to bed,
wonder. Yeah.
I'm like, I miss that really nice feather bed and I miss all my toys.
I see.
The trappings of wealth.
This ball of yarn just doesn't quite do it for me
It's
anymore.
not the same. This yarn is garbage.
Twine. This is twine.
Bryn Shander, your yarn sucks.
Where's the silk stuff?
I know. Do you know? Wait, what dancing lights? Will you be my laser pointer?
Watch as I control this cat.
Anyway.
Cat person.
No,
Cat
just
person.
making a
Tabaxi, yes.
mental note of that.
So skills are learned or not?
Yeah. How did you learn to bard, and how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like I'm dissimilar to the regular emos you see on the top side. See, a lot of people are more, they get creative about torture and machinations, but I wanted to be creative in more good things, which is not very underdark or drow of people. So
You kind of wanted to talk about,
I want to talk about my feelings and what that meant and things, but no one wanted to listen. So I've kept a diary and a journal of my whole life. So I would say I'm a storyteller and a poet, but of my own accord.
Excellent. Okay, so you've scored sort of a self-styled poet.
Yes.
Excellent. And I see that we're getting the beginnings of some character intonations there. I'm enjoying that.
Yes, we are.
We're finding that as we go.
Hour and a half drive from Denver, baby.
Hey, you got to put it to good use somehow, right?
Just talk to yourself in the car in any accent you want. It's great.
Ben.
Kane, I learned these skills in the company, being a mercenary, being an enforcer.
Here's a short sword, and they'd kind of push you in front of them.
Yeah, you sort of just have to look tough. I mean, there were some things that happened that I'm not terribly proud of, but I was good at it, and I don't feel good about that. But I don't think about it too much.
You're paying your brother's debt, I guess.
Interesting.
You had to.
So I think we've kind of at this point gone over how did your character get into the adventuring life. I'm hearing a lot of that. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that one.
Pretty obvious at this point.
So what does your character find most enjoyable or most appealing about the life of an adventurer or the life that they've been living that brought them up here to Icewind Dale?
I'm not sure. Yeah, this was more by necessity than choice. Like, after getting out of the cage. But I think the adventuring life, the prospect, again, of like fame and fortune and renown and like essentially getting back to the life of leisure I once had, only on my terms.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be it's a chance to build that life for yourself, only without giving up your freedom. Mm-hmm. I like that. I dig that.
Yeah.
Tony, you got thoughts?
Well, my writing is more of an inner monologue, so I need to experience new things, and that's why adventuring is so profound, or really speaks to me. So then I've only experienced so much in the Underdark, so I really need to get out and experience new things, so I have more to write about.
I like it. Yeah, so a great way to get out, experience the world, and to turn that experience into creative energy.
Quite.
Love it. Ben?
Kane will continue. He sees an opportunity to maybe do some good. He's done a lot of things that he's not proud of. A lot of things that were bad, done under the auspices of this mercenary company that he was forced to be in. So he would like to make amends for that and atone for. So he now that he's out of from under their watchful eye, he can maybe disappear a little bit and do some good without people taking note.
This band of chaotic vagabonds enjoying the freedom of using their skills for ways that make sense to you. I'm hearing some recurring themes here. It's like everybody is getting away from some sort of outside force that defined what your life was and what your prospects were. So that's really interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to exploring that.
We're a bunch of ragamuffins is what we are. Ragtag.
I dig it.
Group of idiots. I love
You can't believe you're all chaotic. This is going to make certain things a lot easier and certain things a lot harder.
That makes sense.
We dip
great.
out for side trouble.
It makes sense, like, for you, like what you just said about your character and like being forced to do things, like just following orders. So then, like chaotic good makes a sensible choice.
Yeah, I think like that was like lawful evil organization
turned you into chaotic good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Chaotic good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sort of.
It works for me. Yeah, it's all starting to line up.
And I didn't think about that until today. Like I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
To me, it's like the second sight of sunlight. I'm like, okay, peace out. I'm going back.
Clouds, fuck you guys.
The candles burn always as bright.
I love it. All right, I got another question for you guys. Now, this one, we'll see. Would your character, if given the option to do so on their terms, stop adventuring and settle down somewhere?
Yes, but for how long? Who's to say, right? Like, I'm not entirely sure how restless spirit there is in there. Like, maybe any, so chaotic neutral, right? That's freedom for the sake of freedom. And so I think anything might feel confining after too long.
Fair.
Interesting. So you're starting to think of some things that your character doesn't necessarily know about themselves. That's always rich ground for exploration. as we continue to move forward with this story thing we're doing. Tony.
Well, I think that sometime in the future I would stop adventuring and then sit down to write about all my adventures.
Memoir.
A memoir of sorts, exactly, and be
Milo's
able
memoir.
to be able to perform that, or perhaps write it and distribute it somehow throughout the Forgotten Realms. But
In a publishing deal, hell yeah.
exactly. So that could be kind of a retirement phase. But if I go out and perform, that's just another adventure indeed. So
Maybe like epic poem, like spoken.
Beowulf.
Exactly.
There you go.
History.
Ben.
I don't think Kane could. I don't think he could stop. He's got a lot of I'm talking in third person now.
Sure.
He's seen a lot of the evil in the world that's out there, and he can't sit idly by while that is allowed to persist.
I see. So yeah, you kind of have something driving you forward.
He's driven to make a difference and to keep finding the evil in the world and maybe stopping it. Right now, I think where we start the story, he's a little too weak to do that, but he is certainly
that big ass axe is a lot heavier than it was the last time you were swinging it.
I think he would, given the opportunity, embrace a little more power and a little more influence, but on his terms, because right now he knows like he's vulnerable. Like if they were to find out where he is and who he is, they would come after him.
Right.
Probably.
Gotcha.
And he's a little scared of that.
All right. What would you say is your character's most appealing personality trait?
I'm a damn good time. I like I enjoy the finer things in life. I like get-togethers and parties and soirees and
Good at parties?
yeah, fun to good to celebrate.
Yeah, having a good time. All right.
Well, it's not a lot of subject matter to go off of. I'm really not quite sure.
Not a lot of positive reinforcement in your
Not a
journal.
lot of positive reinforcement. So, I mean, blanket sweep, I think it might be my charisma, but I am not sure what my most appealing trait is.
Fair answer.
You just people. I like this guy. I don't know what it is about you, but I like you.
I can't put my finger on it, but
Kane definitely has the opposite reaction. Most people don't like him right off the bat, but he's. I think his best trait is that he doesn't seek recognition, and he's glad to do things. He wants to do things that are good, like what he perceives as good, that help other people, but he doesn't really want the recognition about it. He's like, he'll drop off a sack of, gold coins or whatever to
Electrum.
a poor family. Only Electrum.
Only electric.
that's
This
canon
10
now for
towns
PeakDnd.
is so. They only do Electrum. So he's. I guess he's a bit humble. He's sort of like, he doesn't actively seek out
It's
accolades.
not
or recognition.
a glory hog. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. Now, what would you say what's an aspect of your character's personality that annoys or angers people?
I might have a gambling problem.
Excellent.
I love it. It'll annoy the hell out of me.
Yes, most annoying. I feel like it's not my personality, but I feel it's more of, just the way I look for topside. I just don't know if people are willing to know who I am or what I'm doing there.
People make
So-
some snap judgments about you.
So I've heard. So I'm very wary of that.
Kane has a bit of a temper, and he will fly off the handle on occasion.
Gotcha. There you go.
Since he was a kid.
Gotta make your flaws interesting. Alrighty. So, this is the final question I've got for you today.
Oh man.
And I'd like you to engage your imaginations with it. But let us assume, through whatever set of circumstances, your character had the power of a god for 5 minutes. What would they do in those 5 minutes?
I would establish myself as the like sole runner of an all-inclusive resort on the beach that had like fantastic cocktails and wonderful entertainment and rubbing elbows with all of the celebrities and the higher ups of the realms, and that's where I would be, and that's what I would do. I would make that a thing.
Sounds like a place I know.
I have someone you should meet. Like, just like putting it out there. I think
my
we can get along
contact.
just fine. I mean,
Here's his business.
The project name is terrible, but
listen, if you ever find yourself in Waterdeep, you look up Jastin Jealous out there, and you're gonna have a good time.
Oh, if I was a god for 5 minutes, I think what I would do is gather up all the drow in the Underdark with my parents front and center and just scream at them and make them bow to their will of that creative is so much better than worship below your entire lives. And I would psychically damage their minds until they get to that point.
I would tell my parents to fuck off. Fuck you, Drow Dad.
You don't know my life.
Dig it. Just give all of the Drow race one set of shoulders so you can shake them.
Yep.
One collective.
Precisely.
Slap some sense in
Wake
them.
up, sheeple.
I am the philosopher. I have come into the cave.
I would probably seek vengeance on the burnt banners and
Just
erase them
Wrath
from
of
the
God on those
and I would probably, once that was done, I assume I have that's like 1 minute. Then I've got a list.
maybe 30 seconds if you really milk
Yeah,
it.
and then I would probably rewind time and find out what
Get all
happened.
my memories back.
Like find my family, find out what happened. Like I
Reasonable.
So, fun. Violence.
kill anyone else who's wronged me.
All right. Destroy them all.
And intimidation.
Righty. So, that's
really more
some
persuasion.
interesting fodder to work with. And I hope that those questions sparked your creativity in some way. Maybe like a cool thing about your character can be found if you mull the answers over. So hopefully that's what we've got going on. So let's now, we've got a pretty solid understanding of who your characters are, what they're doing here. Let's get to the stuff you don't know about yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Alrighty, so I have got...
Death saves? Yeah. All right.
I have in this box 8 D20s. Select a color.
I mean, if you guys are gonna choose, I'm gonna close my eyes and pick one.
I was
so
going to randomize.
yeah, so if you have a color you want,
There's 8.
then
Yes, there's
then
8.
by all means go for it.
Let me, for the folks at home, I suppose I'll describe them.
Yes. You can take it. You know what? Here.
And are they all on 20? How mad would you be if I shook up the box too?
That's fine.
Okay.
Just get a nice presentation shot. Very
Yeah,
good.
sure.
Very good.
Okay, for the folks at home, for the kids at home.
I'll superimpose. It'll be fine.
There's my outline. Okay.
All right.
Scroll past some nonsense about some things that haven't happened.
Well, I mean, so in the randomness, would you rather have more choices of random than less? Or can one be picked by all? Could we all pick
no,
one?
once it's been picked, it's out
gone.
of the...
Okay,
Yeah.
so
it's out.
that's what I would. If
I don't
you're-
really care. That's why if somebody has like if they're gonna use like color, then by all means you should go first, because I'm probably just gonna put the lid on that box and shake it.
Reading off the options for the folks at home, we've got a blue and gray, we've got a white and brass, we have a yellow, a gray, a green and black, a red, a gold and black, or a purple.
I see.
And I mean, knowing you, like, I don't think we can choose wrong.
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna do. Who wants to go first?
Go for
I was
it.
going to random, but not as random
Oh,
as
then
him.
I'm gonna choose the red one.
The red one for
Fire.
Yes. Kane, you do know the impact of this. You woke up one morning to find that you had been gifted a parcel.
Oh.
Within that parcel is 500 gold pieces.
Oh, damn. All right.
Let's go shopping.
Please write down somewhere where you will see it the color that you chose.
That might be helpful.
Cool.
All right, so red is out. Somebody randomize.
Reroll the 1.
4, 2, 3. Green and black.
Green and black for Tony. Very interesting one, that one.
Nice.
Awesome.
Tony, the effects of the color you have chosen, we will discuss in private.
Oh, baby.
Dang it!
Should we leave the room?
No, there won't be any need for that. Max, shake the hell out of it and pick your random.
Thank you. I shall. I appreciate that.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah. You don't get to know anything.
I haven't even met you yet.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I know nothing.
I know nothing.
What have you?
Blue and gray?
Blue, gray? This one?
Oh yeah, the bluish gray. Very good. Max, we will discuss the impact of your die in private. All right.
I just got money.
Yep, you just got money.
Nice.
You open door number 1.
Sweet.
That was
All
the
right.
prize.
So, with weighty things in the background and lots of obvious and unobvious things decided about your fate recently, we can go ahead and unpin some things we were putting pins in earlier. Ooh. And we can start talking about how specifically we're going to get you involved in the events of the campaign's first day.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as we've discussed, what is happening in Bryn Shandir right now is a big old festival. It is the Midsummer Festival, so as a consequence, a whole bunch of caravans are in town. Because summer is the absolute best time to try and get a trade caravan up to Icewind Dale. Any other time of year, you are going to freeze to death before you make it.
Call this summer.
So yeah, they call this summer. Bryn Shandir is crowded with people. A lot of the inns are full. There are people who are bunking in shifts pretty much everywhere in town. And the festivities of the day are, this is going to be day 2 of the festivities, essentially. So the first night of the Midsummer Festival on a Shieldmeet year is usually dedicated to drinking heavily and declaring your love. It's considered an ideal day to form romantic attachments or to confess one's feelings to admirers. Going into day 2, it's a little bit of a slower start because everybody's still hungover from the night before.
Yeah.
But when the story begins, it will be nigh unto noon and the party will be well underway again. So, Ben, here's an idea I have for you.
Yeah.
I have been thinking about the sort of person who would harbor a haunted looking refugee with amnesia. And I think I will place that person in East Haven, another town of Icewind Dale, one of the other 10 towns. Mm-hmm. Well, another one of the 10 towns.
Yes.
It's one of the other 9. Anyway.
There's 10
doesn't
more?
matter. It doesn't matter. But in East Haven, there is a temple of the god Tempos, who is revered in Icewind Dale. It doesn't really have an official religion, but a lot of the folk in East Haven worship Tempest, who is the god of warcraft and battle. I believe I have a name for that guy, too. The abbot is, War Priest Danton is the abbot of the 10 towns, of the Temple of Tempos.
Okay.
And
War Priest Danton.
Yeah, War Priest Danton. That is his title, like Brother Danton.
Yes. Got it.
He is probably the person who would have taken you in. He would have recognized you immediately as a soldier and would have felt compelled to open the church's doors to you, perhaps in exchange for some labor. So I think, if you're cool with this, on the day of the first day of the campaign, on Shieldmeet, you are going to be helping War Priest
Danton.
War Priest Danton, yes, thank you, with some behind the scenes like logistics of the festival. You're like rolling barrels of ale out. You're like, probably mucking out some stables. And he is the old, he's about 65. He's aging, but he's out there doing it with you.
Nice.
So when the story begins, you and Danton will essentially be shoveling the walk, clearing out snow in preparation for one of the day's games.
Fucking summer.
It builds character.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Now, as for Triss, do you envision yourself as having been in Icewind Dale for some time, or do you...
So this was actually like having found out that it was like a festival and a feast day. Might I be performing on part of this?
You got a slot.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so the day has a lot of events scheduled.
Yeah.
The inn where a lot of the Caravaneers are hanging out is doing the booze for the day's ongoing athletic events. So they probably would have also hired performers for that.
Yeah.
So we will have you essentially as a street performer on a crowded, busy festival day.
Yeah. And to answer your question, like I think that I have been here for enough time to know it's not my forever home.
Gotcha. Yeah. You've been here long enough to get sick of it.
Hot bath.
All right. Fair enough. Piece of fresh fruit.
Yeah, exactly. I got my claws crossed for these caravans that there might actually be a delicious mango or something.
There you go. All right. So we've got a helper. We've got a performer.
We have an onlooker.
Tony, I think yes. Perhaps that might be what we want. So. Do you imagine yourself as having been in town up until this point, or are you just walking out of a cave and seeing a bunch of humans having a giant party?
I guess my thought would be that wherever I emerged from, like in my travels to somewhere, I heard or I came across a caravan going there.
Okay,
so I think I've been there for the whole festival. But that's about it.
Okay,
maybe
so
a couple
not necessarily
days prior.
right at Bryn Shander, but
Yeah.
because it's
I've been enjoying myself with the festivities.
Yeah,
and I'm super
because
stoked.
it is the party. Like all of
Yes.
the people from 10 towns have been going to Bryn Shander for this party,
Yeah.
in addition to the Caravaneers coming up. So
Super
it would make
interesting
total
to me.
sense for you to like run into some people who are making their way to
Yeah.
Bryn Shander, and maybe you
Whether they were merchants or just onlookers to like celebrate.
yeah, just
But
people going to.
I just heard
play.
about it, so I was like, yeah, that sounds exactly where I'm wanting to go right now.
Wonderful,
And experience people and places.
Hop on in, brother. No further questions.
I love it. Okay. I think I see some things coming together here. All right. So, when next we meet, we will begin with our session 1. We'll do our first episode. Don't miss it. And we will begin with those circumstances. We will have Ben. You are helping out in the background with the festivities. You are, magicking for tips.
Front and center.
And Tony, you are seeing what this human festival is all about. You know that there were lots of naked women running around yesterday. That was fun.
My God.
I've been down in this cave for my 200 years.
Oh, come on. All the drow priestesses wear BDSM plate mail. That's an established canon fact.
That's pretty good.
Fair.
It's the ankles that Tony doesn't get to see ever.
Do we want to talk like house rules and
Sure,
like, things
sure.
that are and are not okay? Like the no list?
All right. So let's start with some basic nuts and bolts. I think that we all agree on critical fails on a nat 1 and critical success on a nat 20. That seems to be a fun thing that we enjoy.
Yeah.
So we'll
Skill checks and all that stuff involved.
Yeah, let's make it all fun. I don't mind the bonus action drink a potion.
Cool.
Happy with to keep that one going. Are there any other house rules we feel we need here? Or
I mean, consequences for death. What do we want to?
If any.
interesting, yeah.
Something to think about, and like we can discuss over the week and announce later.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Time. That was one. The other one was on the live stream. I mentioned turn order and being able to hold actions to.
Yes, that's right. No. I am okay with that. I mean, it's basically just kind of recreating what we got used to under 3.5 games, right?
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Like, you are able to defer a part or all of your turn. And if you defer to go after the last person in initiative, you can instead choose to forego your turn and start at the top of the next round.
And then that is your forever spot in initiative.
Yeah, you can move yourself if you essentially take no action for a round and put yourself in
Somewhere
where you
else.
want.
And then if I say I'm like, no, I want to go after Kane, then for the rest of combat, I will continue to go after Kane.
Yeah, we'll say that once you've moved yourself,
Great.
You'll have to take
Can't
another
pop
round to
back up
move
to
yourself.
the
Right.
first spot.
Yeah,
Great.
you'll have to take another round to move yourself, essentially.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, you have to hold your. hold
Yeah,
on
like
down.
moving to a different place in the initiative is like a full round action.
Yeah.
We'll think of it that way.
Yeah.
And we're following spellcasting rules for. You can cast a leveled spell and a cantrip as long as it's an action, bonus action.
Yeah,
Situation.
I think that works just fine.
Yeah, that
does
Just
anybody
not 2 leveled spells. Correct?
Yeah, not
Yeah,
too
that's-
level. That's
that's-
rules as written in
Yeah.
the book.
rules is written? Yeah, you can do a bonus action spell and a cantrip, but not 2 leveled spells.
Cool.
And I think like we have a right to appeal cases, like
Sure.
just because like we are going high level. So
Yeah, the intent is to take this one to 20. So
right. So there we may run into some rules.
we
like,
might run into some stuff that just jellies up our jam and we don't want it part of our
like,
game.
whether it's attunement slots or there's a million different
Bring
things.
that to the table.
Yeah.
Happy to discuss it.
Yeah.
We will come to consensus on those sort of things as they come up.
That sounds good to me.
I mean, I'm fairly certain I know the answer to all. Like we've been playing this game together for a long time.
Yeah, pretty
But,
sure.
Yeah. I think for the people at home, we're just maybe what's different about
We're
this
modeling the
from
behavior
last-
we advocate.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, then, like, is there anything?
the turn order thing would be a different.
So
Yeah.
We didn't do that last campaign.
As far as like,
Yeah, that's the.
I mean, you know me. Like, there is no content that is off limits as far as like situations to role play and all of those things.
Yeah. I think
So
we
if
should.
anybody has
Well, fair enough.
objections,
I'm not comfortable graphically narrating your sex scenes. So
Sorry, Tony.
You can expect
Hey,
a tasteful
just 'cause
fade
I'm
to
a
black
bard,
if you
man.
want to take things
totally
that direction.
cool.
Yeah,
Totally
that's
cool.
always
don't judge me by my class either.
Oh,
Fair.
one thing I was gonna say because I do have a bit of a gambling problem, and I don't want to hijack sessions. I would love to talk to you to figure out
to-
like a quick and dirty way to just sum up
To, like,
a
manifest
night
that.
of cards or
Yeah.
I
like
can meet you starting or meet you ending, but not the entire
Yeah,
night.
something
Well,
we can
right,
say.
like, I
Yeah,
don't-
you had a good night gambling.
yeah,
you
I
had
don't
a
want to be like,
mediocre night.
oh, like you're playing a game of dice, and then to actually like sit here and play dice for an hour.
No.
Nobody else does
We will
anything.
come up
That's
with
terrible.
some form of
Yeah,
short form to represent how that went.
just something. Yeah,
Easy.
Part of me is like,
or-
you play dice, you do like the one round, and then we cut to what's going on elsewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe
mean?
your cards. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
lob that ball into your court, and you let me know what you want to do with it. I just don't want to.
No, thank you for putting that on my radar.
Yeah, I mean, I've been parts of games where people have
Yeah.
gambling problems, and
And
like,
it takes over.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And
Having said that, I feel like there could be cool situations where we do play it out sometimes.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, if it becomes important, if it
But if it's like, yeah, your nightly ritual kind of scenario, like
right.
Yeah, we
before
don't
we
need to
go to
turn
bed.
every single night into a Vegas movie.
Yes.
If we can, you know.
But
just-
that's it. I mean, good point.
Oh, you
to
roll a
mention.
1. Now somebody wants to break your legs. You know, we can do stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good point to make, though, for anyone who's playing with problematic backstories or having something like that.
Sure.
For the people at
Oh,
home.
totally. Yeah. Is there anybody who feels like they really want to bring a potentially sensitive topic into the story, or do we just kind of looking at what's available at this point?
I think we should. Yeah, I think we can do. I mean, because it's a little different for us because we're filming it and putting it out on the internet.
Yeah,
so it's like our
exactly.
home game. Like I think if we have any content warning stuff that comes up, we should have enough
on an
advance
as-needed
notice.
basis, certainly.
No, that's about a point.
I'm
We
just,
are
you know,
a
if
big
anybody
part.
had something in mind that they were specifically unsure about and wanted to
Yeah.
like bring to the group.
I mean,
That's,
I guess I was
think
more
so.
like, I guess, yeah, I didn't really even, wasn't even thinking about like audience and stuff because there is lead time, but I just meant with like the four of us
yeah, with the four of
sitting
us.
around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably
isn't
not
fun to
gonna
go
like
through.
narrate war crimes for you. So,
Yeah.
we're not gonna educate our folks about new and interesting ways of medieval torture. Sorry, that's not the content we're making.
That's exactly what Middle Moreland's running from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I know we've talked about we didn't. It only happened the one time, and in the last campaign for character death and like repercussions, as Max brought up.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like within minutes we got you back.
Yeah,
so it was,
so it was very
interesting.
close.
Oh, women. Yeah,
And we talked about that there
yeah.
might be like your con score is lowered by 1 every time you're resurrected, or a D4 or whatever, like permanently, which affects your hit points and all that kind of stuff. in
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Just to make it feel more. I don't think certainly character death is not off the table.
Certainly not,
That is
No,
like
that is a thing.
we will if it happens, like if one of us dies and can't be resurrected, I imagine we
I'm all
would roll
for
a
it.
new character.
Yeah.
That's not the default situation I tend to put you in, but I can't promise that there won't be a circumstance under which your character might be at risk of permanent death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're
Sometimes there's a key in our heart.
sometimes we miss you, Grodnak. Yeah, okay. I think if there is some kind of, if we decide to go with a codified rule about it, I would maybe just, we'll put that out there, I guess. So if people are like watching,
let's
or,
mull that one over. Let's.
Yeah.
What year did Beyond the Feywild end?
Beyond the Feywild.
yeah, how long has it been since the end of that event?
I believe that was happening. It was beginning to get into mid-autumn.
Oh, same year?
I don't believe it was the same year.
Oh.
No. This the events of Beyond the Feywild have happened by the time this story starts.
Yeah.
I believe it was 1490. Dale
2 years
reckoning.
ago.
So about 2 years
Okay.
ago, a little
cool.
less.
Yeah, I was just I like realizing that this is it's the same living world.
Yep.
I was sort of wondering.
We're building a cannon,
Yeah. Cool.
and we're gonna fire that cannon at the moon.
Damn straight we are. For Grodnak!
Hashtag justice for Grodnak.
To the moon and back.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, everybody, we have had a lengthy session 0. We're going to take the 90 most interesting minutes of it and share it with the folks at home. But we have, I think, done a lot of really good work today. There's a lot of things that excite me about these characters and about the story we're going to tell with them. So thank you all for indulging my questions and for coming with really cool ideas and interesting character concepts. And thank you, folks at home, for joining us as we get ready to launch our second campaign. I'm really excited about this one. This is start to finish something I've built and I've worked on, and I'm really excited to share it with you. And I hope that you will join us in the journeys ahead and hey, like and subscribe, I guess. Peakdnd, folks.
Thanks, everybody.
Help us do the YouTube things, and we will keep providing funny stories for you.
Nice.
And the occasional bit of pitch blackness.